Welcome back on the AM show. This show is cool as ice, yet hot like vodka. What do you say? That's what we do on the show. And we're glad to have you back. It's time now for the news review. And I'm glad to host, I nearly said my colleague, but this guy, from the University of Cape Coast, right?
That's what it is.
He's not even a Casfordian because this morning I wanted to show a little... I didn't charge at Commonwealth Hall, but I just wanted to do some... Form one boy, form one boy.
What's up? No, but Ogaho, we had our own. We held our own now. Yeah. I mean, we had a block called the G block.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had the Monkey Empire there. I mean,
the what empire?
Monkey
Empire.
Yeah.
Hey,
when you are in Ogaho, you are a monkey. But the proper Monkey Empire was the G block. And every Friday evening, there was morale nights. So yeah, those of us who were not too actively in it, we could go stand there and then pick one or two words. So when we had to go on the whole procession, we're in there.
I see.
Once I saw my roommate do the Beoto thing, and when we came to the whole house,
you were looking at what now? Yes. Okay, so here's a bit of a revelation. I never charged.
Oh, okay.
Commonwealth Hall. I still remember E21. So shouts to whoever is in E21 now.
Yeah. I was in
E21.
I was in D31.
D31.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a DE 2131.
Yeah.
And I also lotto numbers. Anyway, good to have you on the show.
Good to have you, man.
This segment always brought to us by Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Now they are offering free prostate screening. We get ourselves checked, you should too, and free female fertility screening. Just make tracks to any of their branches here in Accra at Spintex opposite the Shell signboard. There's Kumasi Kronoma Bwe here behind the Angel Educational Complex. There's Takrady Anaji Estate. Mr. Brazier is very familiar with that place. There's also Tema Community 22, Techiman Hanswa and Siama and Zema. You do want to call them on 0244 867-068 or 0274-234-321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. But for now, just the start of the news review. Charlie, so you know how we do it. Today our time is a bit limited. Let me see, give or take, we have a little less than 20 minutes. Let's look quickly at your topical matters for this week, especially as we have a lean stack of papers. But for you, what has been most prominent? 1, 2, 3 this week?
The MPs abandoning the House to follow.
Major issue.
Yeah.
Major issue.
I disagree with them.
Okay.
I disagree with the everyday trial of James Jachikwason.
Which is also part of why they are doing this.
Yes.
And of course, you add that of Dr. Cassiel Atuforsen.
Yes.
And then there's the third one. His name, I'll get his name.
Okay.
There's a third gentleman.
Okay.
So 3 of them.
I mean, as for the KCL's own is not on a daily basis.
Right. His is
the reason why they say they will leave is because of Jachikwason's everyday.
Collins Dauda is
yes, Collins, Jachikwason's everyday prosecution. I mean, I think that they shouldn't do it every day. But if you disagree with a legal process, your reaction should not be an illegal one.
But it is because they are saying it's a legal process, all right. But especially in the case of Jachikwason, this legal process has already been prejudiced. They've been hammering. Yesterday, I was listening to Top Story, among others. They've been, hammering hard at the fact that Mr. President went to Asin North and said what he did. Prejudicial statements. They've spoken about the AG's own comments, and they are saying it's not just that they are in government, and so if their party is doing this, then we too, from our end, are going to do this. I'm not necessarily saying I subscribe to what they are saying.
I get it.
But these are the reasons they are giving.
Yesterday, the question I was also asking myself, if I was a lawyer for I was the Attorney General, I also say, why? But former president also went there to say that he won't go to jail. What is that? Is that not also?
Yeah, that is also
exactly.
So the thing is, but you see, it is more egregious for the sitting president to suggest that because he is in power.
When it comes to prejudicial comment,
no.
It doesn't matter whether you're
in power. I get what you mean, but I'm saying that he has power at his disposal. You see, when it comes to the law, it's about the law being done and the law also being seen to be done.
Yeah.
So there is the reality and there is perception.
But you know the conclusion.
Let's not forget that perception also plays a role. Why that is serious is because already the other side has painted a picture that the judiciary in some way is compromised. I can sit here and tell you that will not be the case. But the perception is out there. You don't feed the perception, because if you feed it and then something happens, then the only school of thought will be, see a kind. That is the problem. No, because the other side is not in power.
But Ben, hasn't the other side won cases in court during this?
Some people will ask you how many. And I'm only reflecting, right? When you listen to the conversations, when you listen to the conversations, I mean, I saw someone post recently, Oliver Bakavomao, and I was just reading the comments. Interesting that whenever the AG loses a case, the judge will be changed and then he will win. We must look at certain things. I'm not saying it is necessarily or wholly true, but I'm saying that we must look at the trend of justicial development or rulings on cases. Okay. Do you get it? Okay. Which is why, especially in a turbulent time like this, when judicial decisions are always being questioned, you don't want to pass comments like that. I'm not saying both of them are irresponsible. One is more irresponsible.
I agree with you that they shouldn't have made those comments. I'm saying that
because former President Mahama also saying categorically that he won't go to
That
is also problematic.
Exactly. The point is that are we saying that someone is controlling the judges?
And that's how we've played it.
But you see, that's my worry. That if we continue on this tangent, there will come a time when every judgment that the judiciary will give, we will all say that, well, it's because you are aligned to the certain government.
The point is, we must be careful. Judicial decisions cannot be relied on, cannot be trusted, do not carry that sort of... there was a time back when the court said, Asamesi, this or that. Oh, yeah. But now, it is practically everything, even non-political cases, are being, politicized, are being... And that's a slippery slope.
I've always said that we shouldn't go on that tangent.
We have already gone there.
We should allow the judiciary to do its work. If you disagree with the ruling,
we've already gone there. We're already there. It's just about how far we want to go on that road. We're already there. I can tell you for certain, all the cases that will be decided between now and especially 2024 and even post 2024 that have any slight political tincture or will involve someone who somehow, whether businessman or businesswoman or whatever, is somehow aligned to any political party, will be politicized.
It's because we've become too political. All of us.
Will be politicized.
All of us. That we are not able to say that, Master, stop it. If the court has given a judgment and you disagree, go back and challenge the court.
Do you remember that?
Don't say that it's because... Yeah, I remember. Don't say that it's because a government or a politician is supporting you. That's why you are winning your case.
You remember the LaBianca issue? Things came up about which government she has been, or which administration or which party supposedly she has been funding and this and that, and why she was placed here, and then relating it to... Do you get it? Yeah. These things will be politicized, but that is also a lesson for us.
But
we should learn to detach.
1 million, isn't it?
Well, we all know how that went. But the point I'm making is we should be able to detach. Yes, people who fund political parties may lobby for this and that. But we've also become a society that is too political, excessively political.
Yeah.
We want, look, family, friends, nepotism. It's becoming too much.
Yeah.
And I'll give that to the former administration. There were a few spots in there. Now it is way worse. When you look at, for example, the current finance minister, would you say that the tenor, the feeling of Ghanaians has not been over the last year and a half that he should go?
Yeah,
he's still at post.
I even wonder why.
Against even members of parliament from the majority side, never before seen.
Yeah.
Do this. When you do those things, what do you think the impression will be?
Anyway, but Ben, my point is that the MPs have no business to tell us Ghanaians that they are going to leave parliament, for which we pay them for, to go and support their colleague MPs in court just because they feel disgruntled by the processes.
It's a two-way street.
That is not something we should encourage.
It's a two-way street. But let me just say this.
They can't all say they are leaving the house to go to court to support their colleagues. When I am being deducted my taxes to go and pay them,
true,
I don't expect them to leave the house empty.
True.
to go and support their colleague look, 1 or 2, 5 people going to support them, I don't have a problem.
Right.
But if the whole minority is leaving, we cannot create this precedent. So tomorrow, if another side comes and then does the same thing, we cannot continue. We shouldn't be accepting this.
These are the sides, the other sides of the conversation. This is no precedent. It's not as though it were happening for the first time to set a precedent. It's been done before. In fact, it is a tool.
I'm coming.
Hold on.
I'm talking about when you leave to go to court.
En masse, not necessarily going to court.
But that's the point.
No. But the point is leaving for whatever reason. It mustn't be.
Ben.
We are limiting it to because they are going to court.
No.
There must be. Once they leave en masse,
Ben, when it comes
the same thing.
When it comes to them rising up against a certain bill or law. I mean, we've known that that's a strategy they all use.
Yes.
That's no problem at all. They don't leave to go to court. I'm saying that when you leave your parliamentary duty to go to court just because you think that your colleague is being persecuted, that is something we should encourage.
But like I'm saying, it is a tool in their toolbox that they can use in parliament.
For what?
To express that they are disgruntled.
No.
Because they feel, mind you, they are saying
parliament.
They are saying that they are being persecuted. Don't you forget that there are 3 arms of government. The executive, the legislature, the judiciary.
And all of them aren't they all independent on their own?
They are saying the party, supposedly, the executive, is persecuting them, and so as the legislative arm, they are also going to support their colleagues. I'm not justifying what they are doing, but I'm merely saying that let's not say it is precedent. It is a tool that has been used without number. It has been used by the other side. I remember yesterday. I think the majority whip or something. I've forgotten his name. He has he admitted that this is not the first time something like this is happening. My only problem
to go to court.
My only problem. you keep reiterating. I'm saying it is of no consequence whether they leave for this reason or that reason. If they leave en masse, they have left en masse. It is not about the precedent of going to court. But my problem.
But when it came to E-levy and they all left,
my problem
supported them because we didn't want it.
My problem is that yesterday there were ministers who came to the floor of Parliament to answer specific questions that members of the minority had posed. They showed up, and even the speaker, I suspect, was not aware that this was going to happen, because they gave all indication. There were meetings, and so the ministers showed up. And you know how sometimes it tends to be tricky for these ministers to show up. They did, and there was no minority. The other angle of this is that it brings government business to a complete standstill. It's almost as though the minority were holding government to ransom. That, you know what? If you want to play like this, then 2 can play that game. I get it. They will want to play that political card. But like you're rightly saying, it also comes with consequences, because some of these things may be used by the other side when they also get into opposition, depending on the numbers. I'm just saying that we ought to exercise level-headedness, but I also am aware of the fact that, it's like sowing the wind. You reap the whirlwind. And some of the things we have done in the past are coming to haunt us now, and some of the things we are doing now will haunt us in the future. That is my take on this.
I mean, they shouldn't do that again. They can have 5.
But they are saying they are going to persist.
They shouldn't leave Parliament just to go and support a colleague in the court. I mean, anyway.
But hey,
we the country. If my MP should be part, when it comes to my constituency, I will have to ask him.
And that is the other angle to this as well. For those of you whose representatives are in Parliament and you feel they are not exercising, what or standing in for you, how do you feel about that? We have some comments coming through. Lord Rich is not happy with you. He says it's a democratic tool. What's the difference between judges and doctors going on strike? Are they being paid by? Okay, that's fine. Maxwell says good morning. I want more of your thoughts on this. Those who disagree with me, send comments. Those who agree with him, send comments. Those who agree with me, disagree with him. Let's know what you think, okay? We have about 10 minutes. So let's quickly do this.
I'll daily guide and find a newspaper.
All right. So you start, kill those birds, and then we'll come to me.
All right. So from the Daily Guide, NPP presents a vetting report Monday. I'm best to lead NPP. That's according to Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. NDC MPs boycott Parliament.
He says when
he's the best to lead
NPP. When the court's decision came and he had to be in the dock, no one said it drew me so that was a subtle jab at Alan Chemating, but I don't think that will suffice to get him the flag bearership.
NDC MPs boycott Parliament for Kwesing. That's something I will always disagree with. Asin North MP trial adjourned. Now, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has stated that after being trained for the past 16 years by President Akufo-Addo and former President John Agyekum Kufuor, he is well positioned to lead the ruling New Patriotic Party to the next level. According to him, he stands tall among the 10 flag bearer aspirants as the most experienced person to provide the needed leadership for the governance of the country. Dr. Bawumia told delegates in the Subing constituency on Thursday morning how he rose from a running mate position to vice president, stressing he knows Ghana better to prefer solutions to the challenges facing it. Quote, I have been groomed by both presidents, J. Kufuor and Nana Akufo-Addo, and I've had the opportunity to see every community in Ghana for the past 16 years. And so I am more experienced and competent to lead this party than any other, he stressed. He stated that his straightforward message to the NPP's delegate was that, quote, it is possible, unquote, to make Ghana succeed in all aspects of life. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the vice president there. He's giving, the sort of unity he will bring to the party if elected as a flag bearer. He's also speaking of his experience in the office of the vice president and how that could be valuable to the NPP in the quest to break the 8. So it's now in the ball of the delegate. And again, even when the vetting committee presents its report on Monday to determine whether or not he is qualified to the next stage or he's being dropped, that's when we will know. And then that special delegate will, of course, come off. Now, the National Vetting Committee of the governing NPP will on Monday, July 10, 2023, present its report to the National Council of the party following the vetting of 10 presidential aspirants who have filed to contest the party's flag bearership in 2024. Spokesperson for the committee, Obi Amua, who announced this at the news conference at the regional office of the party at Kokomlemle, said a 5-day exercise was meant to ensure all aspirants who filed to contest the flag bearership were assessed and duly qualified to contest in 2024. Let's see how that goes. Interesting. Okay. Now, Cocoa Board is set to achieve GCTS goals.
You're spending all your time on the Daily Guide.
Okay, all right then. Let me move on then and do the final newspaper. It says our win swing regions for the NPP. That's Alan Chemating speaking there. Government needs to be balanced. Government needs to balance increased revenue generation with business-friendly environment, according to investors. 12-year-old needs $10,000 for hole in heart surgery. Oh. It comes with a picture of Rafiatu Brima there. And then vetting committee report ready on Monday. I want to read the story of the young girl who needs $100,000 for the surgery. Now it says, Miss Rafiatu Brima Tachi, a 12-year-old primary 4 people at the St. Mary's Basic School in Chingchang. Okay. I hope I've gotten the name right.
Hopefully.
In Sisala East Municipal of the Upper West region, is seeking for financial assistance to save her life. She was diagnosed with a hole in heart in 2020 at the Okomfanoche Teaching Hospital in Kumasi in Ashanti region. She was recently referred to Kolebu Teaching Hospital to see a cardiologist, and after a series of tests, an amount of $100,000, the equivalent of 124,500 cedis, is needed so she can undergo surgery. She's also required to carry out 17 different laboratory tests. Speaking to Ms. Rafiatu, she mentioned that she desires to be a nurse in future. Quote, when I complete school, I will want to be a nurse so I can look after people who are unwell. I do not want anyone to go through the pain I'm going through right now, she said amidst tears.
Okay.
Now, they've given her account number, so if I can put it there, at least someone watching us can probably help her. Can I go ahead?
Well, I suppose we could.
This is for humanity.
Time is of the essence, but
okay.
Yes, let's.
So if you want to help, contact the head teachers of St. Mary's Basic School, Reverend Brother Aaron Nehru, on Momo number 0540 80 64 98, 0540 80 64 98, or account number 002101 0027012, 002101 0027012 at GCB Tumu branch.
All right.
Help this girl.
Let's make tracks. Right before we do that, though, quick one. Are you on Threads yet?
No.
So people have been. So yesterday I got some pop-ups and I joined, and then I realized that I had got some followership, and then some of those I already am familiar with on Instagram. So I just used the Instagram bit to get on in. Let's see how it goes. It's like having WhatsApp and Telegram. I don't use that.
I just want
to delete it, and then I focus on WhatsApp because most people are. So let's see how this goes, whether it catches on. But it's got millions in quite a short time.
Well, I'm used to the Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn and Twitter.
So am I. We're all the Twitter.
Yeah.
Hey, you will not kill me. Anyway, so Maxwell. Okay, so there's Lordridge. Okay, so I spoke to you for the messages. This one says, Baba Rufai, they will continue like this if Nanado doesn't stop his. I can't read what you said, but NDC MPs will not go to the House. This one, Ragamuffin, seriously. He says, I support the NDC MP's action. Then Baba Rufai says, whatever Dr. Bawumia has to offer Ghana, add it to Nanado. Okay. This one says, Benjamin Akapo, be serious. Are you saying that it is prudent for the minority to abandon their duty and follow a colleague in court, all in the name of solidarity? Who will accompany the thief who stole the goat? Well, don't steal the goat. And secondly, I didn't say it was the right thing to do. I just said that there were precedents and that they were employing that tool, which is available to them in their toolkit. I never said I subscribed to it. Henry Ako says, the man is innocent until proven guilty. He himself pleaded not guilty in court. And so until proven otherwise, it is in order for anyone to say he is not going to jail. But to say he is going to jail is a dangerous, prejudicial pronouncement. Ragamuffin also says, if Bawumia becomes president, there will be... Okay, I can't take that. Ragamuffin. This one, Yusuf says, it's a democratic tool to express their dissatisfaction. All right, it goes on and on. Edward Amma says, has the judiciary really recognized the importance of the legislature? If they see the absence of one MP every day as not affecting parliamentary decisions, then an absence of 137 MPs won't also affect proceedings. King Abel, I think this will be the final one. Okay, so it's the same message you sent. Hey, but wait, I think I saw it from a different person. Oh, it's King Abel who sent it. Well, I've read your message. I've told you, negative or positive, we'll read your messages. Daily Graphic this morning, Tyne constituency, a tourism mine in waiting. You remember how Tyne became crucial when Atta Mills became 2008. President? 2008. Yeah. We saw that Destiny, Bereniase community cries after losing livelihood to company. 6 more jailed for secession. So let me just do that story and then we shall move on. 6 members of the Western Togoland Restoration Front, a group with a vision to secede the Volta region from Ghana to form what is known as Western Togoland, have been jailed for a total of 26 years by the Accra High Court. This brings to 11 the number of members to the WTRF who have been jailed for their activities to distort the territorial integrity of the country. There's also Nigeria suspends 10% plastic tax to cut costs. What are we doing in Ghana? Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has ordered the suspension of a newly introduced 10% tax on single-use plastics and excise duty on some locally manufactured products to reduce business costs in Africa's biggest economy, his spokesperson said on Thursday. And that is it for me. I will just remind you of what I am going to speak on this morning in terms of blunt thoughts. And I've titled it, Ghanaian Leaders versus Ghanaian Problems. Why our woes remain constant. Ghanaian leaders versus Ghanaian problems. Why our woes remain constant. Stay for that. You don't want to miss it. Any final words, Kojo? We have to go now.
No, we wish our viewers all the best. I mean, Princess Ejewa, the daughter of the Paramount Chief of Lower Discoff traditional area, is celebrating the birthday today. So, Princess, wherever you are, And happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. And if you're celebrating your birthday today, we love you. Happy birthday to you. On that note, Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic bringing us to the end of this news review. They're offering free prostate screening, free female fertility screening. Locate them in Accra Spintex opposite the Shell signboard, Kumasi Kronomabwe behind the Angel Educational Complex, Takrade Anaji State Tema Community 22, Techiman Hanswa and Siamantima. You can reach them on 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. But just the start of Prime Take, and we're taking you to part 2 of that conversation between Muftau Nabila Abdullahi, my colleague, and the maestro. Well, apart from Abedi Pele. Yeah. Another maestro, Stephen Appiah. Enjoy. That is up next.